Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Special Mission Cobra Island Elvin Breaker Kibby with Ram Cycle, and I'm super excited to have this figure in hand. I didn't have to wait for Pulse because we have awesome collectors in the community that are looking out for one another. So I found another collector that was in Texas. It was pretty pricey to get it shipped to me, but I still managed to save money compared to what I would have been getting with Pulse because of that Target clearance sale, which is awesome. So I'm happy to have this in my hands, and as you can see, it comes in a massive box with the really cool artwork of Breaker on the Ram Cycle just peeling off. On the left side of the box, we got some amazing artwork of Breaker just tearing it up on the Ram Cycle. On the right side of the box, we can see that Breaker is number 29. We got the icons. We can go to the G.I. Joe website to see what he is all about, since they don't do the file card system anymore. On the back of the box, we do have a big old shot of Cobra Island, and you really get to see it all. It's all super detailed, and you can see the different focal points that are going on. Got actually some Cobra statues that are focused right there. Very, very cool detail. I really like this. I'd like to actually see this in a poster. Breaker comes with the same minigun that Heavy Artillery Roadblock came with, just in a different color, and you can see it's almost like a matte black plastic here, a sort of glossy plastic here, and it gets into the matte again, and my barrel's warped. So you can see as I'm rotating it, especially that it's like warping up. And I mean, that's probably because of packaging, but we do get this minigun again. Barrel still rotates, but there's no drum magazine at all with it. Here we got Breaker's helmet, and it looks pretty awesome. I like the two-tone visor. The helmet has a lot of sculpt work in it. Look really nice. And it's got a lot of paint work in it as well. We got this like metallic gunmetal for the communicator. You got the mouthpiece down here, the antenna sticking out the back. We got this back piece, most likely housing like the battery pack or something of that nature. And then you wrap it around. We got the camera light, and I'm assuming it's probably a camera, so he can send back what he's recording to the Joes. And honestly, the helmet looks pretty good. Now, this is pretty much the only other accessory that he comes with besides the minigun. I wish we would have got a backpack or like a sidearm or something of that nature, because I just feel like he's lacking in that aspect. Here we have the sidecar for the motorcycle, looking pretty cool. A lot of sculpted work in there. The two massive pegs that obviously get stuck into the side of the motorcycle to get it to attach. And then we got some top sculpt work, which looks good. And we even got some decals on there, number 36 and USA. But didn't they stop saying a real American hero because it's more of an international team? It's odd to see this say USA on it, because I could have swore they changed it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they did that. The other side, definitely without the pegs, looks really nice. Got this little wheel at the bottom that spins. And then we can even crack this bad boy open, and we get some sculpted in details, which the details look pretty good. First time really looking at it this way. And yeah, I mean, that works. And then we can even take the minigun, and I'm pretty sure the minigun goes like so. And there you go. You got the whole minigun, warped barrel and all, inside this thing. So here we got a closer look at Breaker's Ram Cycle, and this thing is pretty awesome for what it is. It's a little like sort of compacted dirt bike type of vehicle. Tons of sculpted in detail. We got the American flag decal on there, some other decals, 36 and stuff like that. Painted shock. We got the rubberized type of plastic for the tires with the harder plastic for the brakes and the spokes. Just Lots of sculpt work going on down here. Wish there was a little bit more paint, but if you guys want to see one all painted all the heck, check out my boy Art G. I'm going to slap his Instagram down below. He made one all muddy and just really even took it to that next level because he has 2 of the bikes. So that's what he did, and makes me want to get 2 of the bikes and have him paint me one because it looks spectacular. And some of the details that he is probably capturing is, look at that. They have the wraps around the exhaust with texture on them and everything. Looking great. And then we flip the bad boy over. Well, before we flip the bad boy over, here's the back look at the tail light, which it looks okay. I wish it was like a translucent red plastic. And then we get a different decal. It says instrument cover on the back there. Little wrench decal, G.I. Joe. You know, pretty much all the same, just mirrored on the other side, just different decals. And then the front, I wish they would have given us a something translucent instead, just painted that silver, because I'm assuming that's the headlight, maybe. We do get the translucent windshield, which that thing's not high to really do anything, especially when you got the handlebars that are above it. I don't know what that's going to protect. And then speaking of the handlebars, we get in and take a closer look at the speedometers, and they did a really good job on those, in my opinion. Sure, they could have added individual little dots for the or paint for the little numbers and everything, but it's better than just a sticker. It's all sculpted in there. So you can take your little paintbrush and go in there and paint it yourself if you want to, but I think this looks great. The handlebars are plugged in with a ball joint system, just like the coil bike. So these look really good, a little bit of motion. And what's nice too is you see with me moving the tire, it actually moves the handlebars as well. Taking an up close look at Breaker, and he looks freaking awesome. I like how he just has this sort of like cockiness to his facial sculpt. He's got some line wrinkles underneath the eyes, giving him some age. We got the beard going on, the slick back hair. You know, they did a really good job with the head sculpt, and it's crazy that they are like, hey, not only is it slick back hair, but it's helmet hair, and you're going to be covering this awesome head sculpt up. But it looks really great. His harness or whatever, his vest, jacket, whatever you want to classify it as, looks really cool. It's got that texture of like the leathery material and stuff on it. Painted pretty well. And we even got the front there. Again, it's sort of basic when it comes to Breaker's outfit, which I don't expect him to have anything too crazy. He's got those, looks like Duke arms, or yeah, I do believe those are Duke arms. Painted nicely, got the gloves, elbow pad on one side, not the other, and then we get the watch as well. So he has one elbow pad. Why didn't they could have dueled it up. I mean, he's riding a motorcycle after all. His pants, everything on this figure, a good portion of it, should I say, is like reuse. And I'm okay with that. Because they're reusing the parts in a proper way. Because you really have to like pull out the other figures and look at them and be like, which is what? Knee pads look nice. Nice glossy black. We got these nice military combat boots. Like, the whole figure, I mean, you could probably get a bunch of these and just army build them if you want a bunch of grunts. But as a Breaker figure, I think they pretty much nailed it. Here's a close-up shot of Breaker wearing his helmets. And again, it fits like a glove, looks really awesome. I just wish they would have gave him that bubblegum effect or alternate head with the bubblegum. Diving into his articulation, he can look down quite a bit. He can look up quite a bit. It's that ball and disc hinge head. And then he has the neck movement as well, just like all the other Joes. So a lot of attitude you can get with them. His arms on the disc hinge, you can go up that far. Full rotation. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, and then there is a wrist bend in there, but it gets a little bit harder to bend because of the watch. He does have ab crunch and stuff, but it's all going to be covered by this rubbery type of vest. He does have some, I guess, movement in the waist a little bit. We do get the drop down hips, but he can do the splits very, very well. and you can see how they drop down. I do have a little bit of a loose leg right there, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal for me because he's going to be, you know, on his motorcycle and he stands fine. You know, he poses fine. He can kick up, field goal kick. We got the thigh cut, double jointed knees, which bend very nicely. There we go. We get boot cut in there, right where the boot's at. Ankle bend and generous pivots. Breaker fits on the ram cycle pretty nice. You do have to finagle it. I would definitely not have this on before you get him on the bike. Getting him to grip onto the handles, and then you got to get him positioned to where he looks a little bit more natural on the bike. Because since he doesn't have any ab crunch and stuff like that, you really have to play around with him until he gets that natural pose on the bike. But it looks so freaking cool. It rolls very, very easily. So the play factor is definitely there. And it looks wicked. I know a lot of people are complaining it is slightly stubbier than the coil, but for a little dirt bike, I mean, I think it looks really freaking cool. Yes, I would have wished that Breaker came with some extra weapons and a backpack and stuff like that, but I mean, this just screams Breaker right here. I mean, it looks great. Just add that little bubble gum effect to them, and you got yourselves a legitimate Breaker. It's sick. I mean, I'm really having fun with these classified figures because just the sculpt work, attention to detail is just phenomenal with these. Here we have Breaker holding onto his minigun. Now, I don't really feel like Breaker would be a minigun wielder. He's not Roadblock. Roadblock has the build of he's just massive to be carrying around some heavy light machine guns. I really don't see Breaker standing there with a minigun and using it, unless I guess he is fighting for his life. That's a possibility because adrenaline and stuff like that. But he doesn't even have a drum to store any of the ammo. There's no bullet feed going in there, so maybe it's just him taking it out to repair it or clean it up. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, it's still cool that he can hold it. I won't have him posed that way at all. I can't have him posed with the minigun. It just, to me, doesn't make sense, but still cool that he can take it out and use it if he needs to. Now, for any of you that might have picked up that Action Force Armament prototype pack, the weapons look great in Breaker's hands too. I had this gun with my Duke figure and I took it out of his hands because I was like, let me see how Breaker looks with it. And it looks amazing. I'm super stoked that I have the actual painted weapon sets on pre-order, and I can't wait to get those because I just love my Joes having more realistic weapons. And also, really hats off to Hasbro for starting to give us more realistic weapons with these Joes that are coming out instead of the Nerf guns. So it's awesome that we're actually getting Joes with guns again. And then I love the fact that the Action Force weapons just really take these figures to that next level as well. So in the end, sure, I wish Breaker came with a backpack and some extra weapons because they crammed so much with the Baroness. I mean, we got 2 alternate heads of Baroness, some pistols, a knife, a weird Cobra laser gun thing. I mean, and actually 2 giant rifles. I wish we would have got as much love as Baroness got with Breaker. Breaker's bike's a little bit more stubbier, but it's a dirt bike, so I'll let that pass. But it's like the lack of accessories is disappointing. The figure, the ram cycle, the helmet, like everything that comes in it is pretty solid. It's just, there should have been more, in my opinion, for the price point. But other than that, I mean, if you guys pick this figure up, let me know down below. What'd you think of it? How do you guys liking the G.I. Joe classified line? Are you guys able to find them now? I mean, comment down below. Let's get a conversation going. And that sums up my unboxing and review of G.I. Joe classified series Special Mission Cobra Island Breaker and Ram Cycle. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up for me. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Just hit that little red button. It'll mean the world to me. If you want to know when I post up a new video, hit the silver bell notification. And go ahead and check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. The website is down below. There's also a promo code down there for you guys to get free shipping on anything you see on the website. And make sure you guys check out Toyco's Facebook pre-order group because that's honestly one of the best places to get a hold of a lot of figures for great pricing, especially a lot of imports like your Storm Collectibles, SH Figuarts, Figma, 1000 Toys, 30. If you guys haven't heard of those companies, you definitely need to check out that Preorder Facebook group because you're missing out on some amazing figures. Some of these import figures are phenomenal, so definitely go check that out. And most importantly, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.